So before the break, we went over how to get restrictions. Okay, so every question from now on, they will all have state any restrictions at the end. Okay, so after you simplify, right, now the focus is on simplifying. But then after that, you need to write restriction for each question. Okay, same with your homework. Okay. So simplifying a single, this one is a single rational expression. So it's similar to the way you simplify a regular fraction with only numbers. So we'll try to learn this using the same idea of regular fractions. So normally when we see 8 over 10, right away, because you've done this so many times, you would just divide top and bottom by the same number. But in fact, what actually happened behind, right, when you first started learning this, is you need to factor each one. You need to break down the 8 into little factors. Same with the 10, okay? So we'll factor this because that's what we are going to do for the rational expression as well. So for 8, how do we turn 8 into little factors? Colin? How do we write 8 as factors?
2 times 2 times 2.
Yeah, very good. Okay. And then how about 10? Amanda?
2 times 5.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, 2 times 5, right? So we turn them into factors. Factors are separated by multiplying, right? So now they are all in factors. Now all we need to do is just to see whatever on the top, that's the same at the bottom, then you cross them out, right? Divide. So that's why you divide top and bottom by 2, okay, if you reduce. So there's nothing else that's the same. So we're gonna write down what's left, okay? So you get 4 over 5. So that's if it's only numbers. We can, that's what actually happened. You break it down. But of course, if it's only numbers, you go straight to here, right? You don't need to do the factoring for numbers. So same with the B, okay? Let's look at B. 9 and 6, right? 9 and 6 is pretty easy, right? So we can just do that in our head. Because first thing, let's identify, make sure they are all factored, right? So pretend I didn't write yet. Okay, let me erase this. Okay, so just double check, right? This is a factor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, first one should be -9, right? So on the top, you have 4 factors. At the bottom, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 factors, okay? So now we start to reduce. So 9 and 6, we can divide both sides by 3. So that gives us -3 over 2, right? That part is no problem. When you have x to the 4 over x, I'll write it on the side. So x to the 4 over 6, that means the top has 4 x's multiplying, right? The bottom has only 1. So if you cancel out, reduce, right, then the top will have only 3 left. Then the bottom is gone, right? So you have 3 more x's on the top than the bottom. So you write it like that. Okay, now for the y we have the same amount, so they are gone. Okay, and then finally the z, the top has more, right? So square will cancel out with that, the cube on the top. So you only have 1 left. Okay, so you are done, right? So that's your answer. This is simplified. Okay, simplified. But we are not finished yet, right? Because this is a rational expression now. So we need to do the second part, which is restrictions. So if you look at the simplified expression, there's no restriction for the one in the red box because there's no variable in denominator. But then the restriction is for the question, right? You want to make sure the restriction is for all the variable that's being in the denominator. So you need to go back and take a look. Okay, I'm gonna erase all the crossing part. Okay, So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So focus on the denominator now. Okay, and then we have 6 you can ignore. So you get 3 more parts to write a restriction. Okay, so please write down the restriction for this one and raise your hand, okay? Well, let's check your restrictions. There should be 3 restrictions for this because you ignore the 6. So there should be 3, okay? Please write down the restriction and raise your hand. If you understand last page, you should be done by now. Okay. Evan, what's your restriction for this?
Uh, my restriction for this is x, y, and z cannot equal 0.
Yeah, okay, and this is very simple, right? Because you have 3 parts and each part only has 1 letter. So you just make each part cannot be 0, that's all. Okay, so there's nothing to isolate here, right? Each part only has 1 letter alone. Anyone has questions? So your answer consists of 2 parts. One is the simplified expression. The other part is the restrictions. Okay, so your homework will have 2 answers for each question. Let's look at next one. Okay, question C. So before we begin, right, always make sure they are in factor form, okay? Because you can only cancel when they are in factored. So for example, if you begin like this, okay, you look at question C, and then you see, oh, we have a 12x. Let's start canceling. Both divide by 4, so that makes it 3, that makes it 2. Cancel an x, so that's gone, right? Then you are left with 3, because x is gone, right? And then 2x minus 20x. This will be wrong, okay? Because, so you need to know why that you cannot do like that. Because the top has 2 factors, that's fine. But then the bottom is not factored. These are 2 terms. So these 2 are together. So you cannot just try to cancel out one of them. Okay? So what you need to do first is to factor. Just like the very beginning, right? When you try to reduce, you need to break it down into factors and then see if you have same factors to cancel out each other. Okay? Only factors can reduce each other. The top is already factored. Okay, how do we factor the denominator? Wayden, what do we do to factor denominator?
You find what you can divide from both.
Okay,
The
so what would that be?
4x.
Okay, so we call the 4x the GCF, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then can you tell us what's left?
You have 2x minus 5.
Yes, very good. Okay, so now if you look at the denominator again, we would have 1, 2, 3. 3 parts. And then the top has 1, 2. Okay, only the same factors can cancel each other. Okay, bottom has 3 factors, the top has 2 factors. Now you can start to do the canceling. Okay, so the 4 and the 12 you can reduce. The x factor and the x factor, they are the same, so they are gone, right? So the answer at the end, you're just left with 3 over 2x minus 5. Okay, so this is the simplified. Does anyone have questions so far? It's better to ask me right away, okay? When you have questions. Now we need to get restrictions, right? Where do you think we should look at when we find restrictions? Jenny, what do you think? Where do we find restrictions?
In the denominator.
Yeah, but we have, let me see, we have first denominator there, right? Number 1, number 2, number 3, right? All 3 parts has denominator. Which part should we look at?
The third part, because
The
it's
third one? This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, even though, remember when we did question B, the x, y, z, right, in the denominator disappeared, but you still need to consider because it happened in the question. So you also need to consider the parts before you cancel things out, okay? So it's better you look at the one that's factor. So line, second line, okay? So line 2 over here, okay? So that should be the line you look for restrictions. Otherwise, you'll miss a restriction there. Okay. So please write out the restrictions now. So look at the second line, second denominator. When you got the restriction, please raise your hand. Yeah, Chris, do you have any questions?
Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I thought I pressed the raise hand button.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Okay, we have about 10 people finished. Anyone has question about how to get restriction? Okay, Evan, do you have any trouble getting restrictions?
Which line do I find the restrictions on? Because I just went to use the washroom. I came back and I
Yeah, look
don't
at
know
the
which.
second line. You look at the
Oh,
second
the second
line.
one.
Yeah, the one that is already factored and also is not canceled out yet. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, you want
Thank
to
you.
look at the line without canceling yet. Okay, Marcus, how about you? Do you have you got the restrictions yet?
Working on it right now.
Say that again.
Oh, I'm working on it right now.
Okay. Okay, Evan, what's your restriction?
I got x can equal 4 or 5 over 2.
4 and 5 over 2.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Marcus? What do you think? Do you agree or you have something different?
I got the same thing.
You have the same thing. Okay. Anyone else? Do you all have the same thing?
I got 0 and 5 over 2.
Cannot be 0 or 5 over 2. Okay. Anyone else?
-4.
Let me write it here. X cannot be -4. Anything else?
5/2.
And 5/2. So it looks like 5/2, everyone agrees, right? Is the 4, -4, 0? We're not sure. So let's recap again, okay? How to find restrictions. Restriction, you look at each factor, okay? So you look at second line. I already underlined. You have the 4, the x, and then 2x minus 5. They are factors because they are separated by multiplying. Okay, so the 4 you can ignore because 4 is never going to be 0, right? It's a constant. So you just focus on x. So from this part, you get x cannot be 0. And then from this part, you get x cannot be 5/2. Okay, so your restriction should be this one. Okay, try to compare it with last page, right? When we learn restrictions, for example, look at this one, right? You have 7, right? You won't say x cannot be -7. X cannot be 7. You ignore the 7. You only look at the factors itself. Okay, I hope that's clear. You look at one factor at a time. So that's why I keep underlining, right? Each factor is a one underline, right? So this part, question C. So make sure you do the homework earlier because this is a new thing. If you do it too late, you will forget again how to get the restriction correctly. Okay, next part. Okay, we'll look at D. First thing, what do we need to do to start? Ivy, how do we start the question?
Simplify.
Simplify is a very general word. Can you be more specific? What do we need to do exactly? Because everything we've been doing is called simplify, right? But what exactly the step is need to do?
Divided by 2.
Divide by 2, where?
For the numerator.
Which part? Numerator? This part? Can you tell me what to write?
For z plus 3z squared.
That's all? So you just get rid of, you just divide everything by 2? Okay, think about what we did in question C. How do we go from the question and then to the first to the next line? What did we do?
Factor.
Yes. Okay, that's a keyword. Okay, because you can only reduce the factors. Okay, so your very first thing is to look for things to factor, and that's why for the past few weeks we've been doing factors all the time, right? So factor wherever possible. All right, so can you continue factor the top first?
2z times bracket 4 plus 3z bracket.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's let someone else do the denominator. How do we factor the denominator? Let's see. Marcus, how do we factor the denominator?
Take up. Oh, no. You can divide 9 by 3. I don't know. And you can make it 3z squared and 4 minus 4.
Yeah. So 3z minus 4.
And then wouldn't it be 3z minus 4 or 3z plus 4?
Yeah. Okay, so this is called the formula. Factor by formula, you have two terms, right? Two terms and the subtract. So now you get factor, okay? So you guys have to remember, your very first thing is to look for any part that can be factored, okay? To before you can start to do canceling. So now everything's factored, then you can start underlining, right, in your head, or actually underline each factor. So the top has 3 factors, the bottom has 2 factors, and you can start to do canceling. Okay, so I'll let you complete the rest. Okay, write down the final expression and then also write out the restrictions. Okay, so please raise your hand if you finish the final 2 things. You should be done by now, okay? This one is not difficult. You just cancel out and write out restriction, that's all, okay? Only 7 people done. Okay, Jenny, what can you cancel out?
I changed the 2z into a negative 2z, and
How
then I
come?
changed,
How
oh,
come
to
you
get the top bracket to match the bottom bracket, so I could get rid of it.
It's already matching. You don't see it?
Oh, I thought they were both 3z minus 4. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, okay. I know what you mean. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
If
just
if it was
assumed.
like that, yeah. If it was then you need to switch sign. Yeah. It's not that
Yeah.
complicated.
Sorry.
It's okay. Okay.
So you get rid of those 2 brackets,
Which two? Which two?
the last 2 for both sides.
Okay. So 4 plus 3z, right?
Yeah.
Cancel out with
3z plus 4.
Yeah, okay. If it's adding, it doesn't matter the order, they're always the same, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, and so finally you're left with 2z over 3z minus 4.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, how about the rest of you? Still only 7 people done. Restriction, you guys have trouble with restrictions? Come on. If you finish restriction, please raise your hand. Let me know, okay? If you still have question about restriction, you gotta let me know now, instead of trying to guess when you are doing homework, okay? Okay, Jiawen, Marcus, are you done? Restriction?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay, when you're done, let me know, okay? I need to know what's going on here. How come it takes this long? Can you tell me what you are doing right now? What's your steps?
I did 3z minus 4 cannot equal to 0.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
plus 4 cannot equal to 0.
Yeah.
And then I just divided it by 3, so it'd be like 4 over 3.
Oh, not yet, not yet. You need to move the 4 over first.
Okay, so then it would be 3z cannot equal to negative 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be 3z can on the bottom under. Oh, so then it would be z equals to negative 4 over 3.
Yeah. Cannot equal. And then the second part?
It'd just be 3z equals to 4 cannot equal to 4, and then it would be 4 over 3.
Yeah.
Equals 4 over 3.
Okay, so that's it. You just isolate z, okay? So z cannot be, because they are the same value, just plus and minus. So you could also combine it together. And you just write z cannot be plus minus 3, sorry, not 3 over 4, 4 over 3. Okay, Jiawen, do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Jenny, any trouble?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, okay. Let's pick 2 more questions, okay, to do. Okay, let's try the last 2, huh? Last 2. The other ones you can look for similar, like question A is similar to question B on the top, right? A is kind of like B. B is kind of like C, right? And then C and D, C is kind of like this one. Okay, so you have similar examples to look at, and D and E are similar. Okay, so that's why we're gonna do E and F, okay? So same thing. First thing is to factor wherever possible, and then you start canceling. Once you cancel things out, you check for restriction. Restriction, you look at the part that's not canceled yet. So for the question we just did, let me highlight it, okay? Before you cancel out bracket, you have 2 of them in the denominator. So you get 2 restrictions, Okay, do not just look at the final answer. All right, so I'll let you guys work on those two now. And I'll check when you guys are done, okay? So raise your hand when you finish E and F. So factor both, okay? Factor numerator, factor denominator, and then cancel out the factors. You got this.
Jason, it's like not factorable.
Which one? Are you sure? Which part? Which one you think is not factorable?
Like the top and the bottom.
For question E?
Yeah.
What method have you tried?
Like you can do the cross one as well.
Yeah, the cross multiply, right?
Okay.
Have you tried that?
Mm.
Hmm?
No, I'll try now.
Yeah, okay, because you first try GCF. If GCF doesn't work, you move on to next one. 3 terms cross multiply. 2 terms subtract formula, right? That's why we have all the different methods. But always starts with GCF. So all these should be factorable. Okay? Have you all finished question E at least? Let's check the factors for E, okay? Brandon, can you tell us your factor for the numerator?
1x squared minus 13x
Hmm?
plus 2.
Question E, right? Question E.
Yeah.
Question E, the numerator, the factors. You need to cross factor. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, so what did you get in the brackets? What's in the first bracket? Have you factored it yet?
Not really.
Do you know how to do that?
No. I have to take out the GCF. Or
What's the GCF? Is there GCF?
no.
Then you move on to the next method, right? There's no GCF, so what should we do?
Cross factor.
Okay, can you do cross factor now? Do you know how to do that?
Not quite sure.
You look at the first term, you see I divided into 3 parts. So what
Yes.
multiplied together makes 6x squared?
3 and 2.
3x and
2x.
2x, okay? Not just 3, 2, you have to say x. Okay, and then you move on to the last one, the 6. What do you want to use?
2 and 3.
2 and 3. Now we want to see if it works. How do we check?
We multiply.
Hmm?
We cross multiply.
Okay, so multiply those two, what do you get?
13.
Oh, you get 13x?
Yes. Oh, I need to put -2, -3.
Okay, -2, -3. Will that work now?
Yeah.
Okay, then what should go inside the brackets then?
3x minus 2 and 2x minus 3.
Okay, so now I would like you to do the same thing for the denominator and let me know what you get, okay? Okay, Brandon?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, how's everyone doing here? So far, we got 4 people finish both questions. Anyone else? Okay, we got 5 people now. Okay, 6, 7.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, what do you have?
4x plus 3 and 2x minus 3.
Okay, let me check. So that would be 6x minus 12. Yeah, very good. Okay, good. Now, what should we do next, Angela? We factor question E now. What should we do?
Do the denominator.
Yeah. So which
Uh,
one?
The same one.
Which one's the same?
The cross multiply factor one.
Huh? So which one? Which factor we canceled out?
Like the one we did with the numerator.
Numerator, huh? So what do we need to write now? Can you just tell me what to write? What?
Oh wait, sir, I thought you were talking
Huh?
about factoring.
Oh, we
I
already done factoring.
yeah, I finished F, but I don't know how to do E.
Oh, have you factored? Did you get the same factors? Question E?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now do you see anything that's the same?
2x minus 3.
So what do we do?
Cross it out.
Yeah, cross them out, okay? So what's the answer?
3x minus 2 over 4x plus 3.
Yeah, so that's all. Okay, so that's your answer. Now we need to get restrictions. All right, so Evan, what's the restriction for this?
The restriction is x cannot be negative 3 over 4.
Is that all?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, the line that you need to look for restrictions should be where? Anyone help out here? Where do we look for restrictions?
Line 2.
Line 2, very good. Okay, you need to look at the line before you cancel out things. Okay, so can you continue? Check again.
Oh, and it can't be 3 over 2.
Yeah, cannot be 3 over 2. So remember that for your homework. Okay, do not just look at the final simplified. You need to look at even the one you canceled out. Okay, so I highlighted all the part you need to look at for restriction. Okay, so look at the page. I highlight the ones that you need restriction. Okay, question F. Okay, we still have 5 people working on, 6 people working on it. Okay. Okay, 5 more people. Let's check the factor on the numerator first. All right, Amanda, what's your factor in the numerator?
X plus y
X plus y
and 5x minus 2y.
minus 2y. Okay, let me check. So that's 5xy minus 2xy. Yep, very good. Okay. And then for denominator, okay, can I have Elaine? What's in the denominator, the factors?
3x and x plus y.
X plus y, yeah. So this one, denominator, you just take out GCF. So what can we cancel out, Harry?
X plus y.
Yeah, so those two are gone. So you're just left with 5x minus 2y. You can only cancel if the factors are the same, okay? The restrictions. Okay, restriction, Waylon. Where are the restrictions?
Like 3x.
Okay, yeah, you look at the 3x. Anywhere else?
Yeah. 5x minus 2y.
No, you don't care about that. That's in the numerator.
No, oh, is it also x plus y?
Yeah, okay. Even though x plus y canceled out, you still need it for restrictions. Okay, can you tell me what you have?
I got 0 and 2 over 5.
No, that's coming out from the numerator. We don't care about numerator.
Oh, okay. Then wait, let me calculate it.
Yeah.
Is it square root y over 3?
Hey, where did you get that from?
Wait, never mind. Wait.
Do you know where to look at?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at like the second part, 3x multiplied x plus y.
Yeah, we are the denominator. We have 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah.
3 parts, but the 3 you ignore because that's a constant.
Okay.
Okay, and the
okay.
x cannot equal to 0. You already got it. Okay, so you have one more restriction. Where do you get it from?
Wait, let me check. Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay, do you see the underline?
Yeah.
Okay, what I underline? Which part did I underline?
X plus y.
X plus y, right? So you have to get the restriction from there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because you already got it from the first part of x. You get x cannot be 0 from there. You need another
Okay.
one from x plus y.
Oh, okay. So, can't be negative y?
Yes, very good. Okay, x plus y cannot be 0, and then you isolate x. X cannot be negative y. Okay? Okay.
Yeah, got it.
So that's all. Okay, so your homework will be finding restrictions after you simplifying. Okay, it will be questions similar to these. Make sure you start earlier. Okay, these are very confusing. Okay, please stay after class if you have questions, and I'll see you next week. And Evan, I need to talk to you. Okay. Okay. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Right.
You